Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's review I am once again throwing it back to the old Transformers Revenge of the Fallen toy line, by this time taking a look at the Scout class Ejector. Ejector, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the character, is one of the kitchen appliances which is brought to life by the shard that Sam Witwicky drops out of his pocket and down into his kitchen. You can see here that this is one of the few ROTF figures that I still have mint in package. We have a fantastic image there of Ejector in his toaster alt mode. Ejector, Decepticon, we have the amazing Transformers Revenge of the Fallen logo there with the Decepticon insignia. This figure here is a quick conversion. We have the figure here fully showcased in this amazing window view display. You can pretty much see the figure from all angles. As we take a look here at the back of the packaging, we've got some really nice images of him in both robot mode as well as toaster mode, as well as some statistics here on the side and a very brief bio. Born mindless and driven by the heat pulsing in his tiny body, Ejector knows nothing but how to burn. Even when he was a simple toaster, burning things was what he did best. Now that he's got a simple mind of his own and a flamethrower to go with it, he lives to torch everything around him. Unfortunately, we never really saw much of that in the actual ROTF movie, as I believe this guy was blown to bits by Bumblebee, but nonetheless, it's still a really nice looking bio. So, I do believe that just about wraps it up here for the packaging. Let's crack Ejector open and see what awaits us inside. And so here we have Ejector fully opened up and out of the packaging, and if this figure does anything, does it make me miss the old Revenge of the Fallen Scout class figures? Honestly, the Scout class was such a fantastic subline and really is a line that I wish Hasbro had brought back. I do now believe that if they were to bring this line back, it would probably be nowhere near as good as what we got for the old ROTF figures, as the plastic feels so amazing on these particular releases. They're very well articulated, and I do believe that they were lower than $10 when they did originally release, and quite surprisingly, the conversions on these particular figures are rather complex. Bringing Ejector in here for a closer look, you can see that we have an incredibly ugly looking head sculpt, probably one of the most ugliest looking Decepticons that I have ever seen from the movieverse, and that for sure is saying something. You can see that we've got some really nice gold highlights here for the eyes, and I love the asymmetrical design there. We've got this very Gremlin-esque look here for the lower section where the mouth is. I really do love the way that looks, and if we just lift this section up, you can see some nice gold paint applications there in order to give you the illusion that that is perhaps Ejector's tongue. As we take a look here to the shoulders, we do have the Decepticon insignias as well as some really menacing looking sculpted in claws, and we also do have a fully molded in hand here in order to give you the illusion that once again Ejector does have two pairs of arms. As we take a look here for the torso, really nice looking gold paint apps there for the torso, and you can even see some right up in this cavity which perhaps you wouldn't even see upon first glance, so that in my opinion is a really nice attention to detail. And as we take a look here down to the lower sections of the legs, they do start to get slightly skinny and lanky, but you can see we've got some nice details there where the gold is concerned, as well as some nice sculpted in feet. He also does have this plug which can act as a tail, or perhaps if you wanted an R-rated version of Ejector, he could perhaps utilize this for some other job, perhaps if he does meet another female kitchen appliance. But nonetheless, I still think that that once again is a really nice attention to detail, especially when we do get him into his toaster mode. And you can see here from the back that the toaster is indeed fully decked out in this super awesome silver paint. Honestly, this figure is absolutely bonkers, which in my opinion perfectly encapsulates the whole Michael Bay era of Transformers. In terms of articulation, we do have some jaw articulation which can open and close. We do get swivel joints here up and down, as well as a hinge joint forwards and backwards due to a ball joint as well as a hinge. So that in my opinion is a really nice range of motion. We also do have ball joints here at the arms which can rotate left to right as well as hinge up and down, and as stated previously, the fingers are indeed articulated, which is super surprising to see. This arm can also hinge up and down. We do get ball joints here at the legs, so these can kick forwards and backwards as well as out to the side slightly. We also do get a knee joint here, mainly due to transformation, and then a rotation here just above where the knee would be. And then finally, we don't really get much articulation in terms of feet, other than the fact that the toes can pivot forwards and backwards, mainly due to transformation. Bringing in some size comparisons, here we have our Scout class Ejector compared next to that of the Studio Series Deluxe class Bumblebee, and of course the Human Alliance Sam Witwicky. So you can just see that considering this figure here is a Scout class and this is now our current Deluxe, for sure he looks really big. He could probably pass as a modern day Deluxe class, to be honest with you. I'd say he's roughly the same size to that of Earthrise Cliffjumper, so it really does go to show just how much Transformers figures have evolved over the last 10 years. But just giving you a heads-on size comparison, you can see that Ejector here comes up to roughly where Bumblebee's crotch section is, and then just comparing him here next to Sam Witwicky, he is for sure way too big to stand next to Sam, but you could totally have Sam with his hands in the air like he just don't care, shouting Bumblebee, and then Bumblebee crashing out of the garage and shooting the kitchen bot into oblivion. So for sure it could work if you have this this on a display, but setting those figures there off to the side. And so turning to the transformation here for Ejector, to begin with, you're going to want to pull up these sections. We can then take the fists and just collapse them in upon themselves and then snap the hands into this hollow space. Of course, repeat the exact same process here with the opposite side, so just clip these pieces in also. We can then take this section and also snap that into place, which will then allow you to rotate these pieces here all the way around. Turn your attention here to the back and just disengage this piece, which will then allow you to bring these two halves together and of course snap those into place. We can then take this piece and bring that all the way forward. We can then take this piece here and collapse that there over the top and just sit that so that it is nice and flush alongside this piece. Turn our attention here to these sections and you're going to want to take that there and rotate that around. That will then allow you to bring this here all the way up and over, and of course rotate this section around and repeat the exact same process. We can then finally take this section and connect that into place, and I do believe that that is Ejector fully transformed up into what is, in my opinion, a really awesome looking toaster. Once again, it's a shame that we don't get figures like this now in some of our modern toy lines, as I'm pretty sure that many collectors would go bonkers for them. Bringing him in here for a closer look, you can see that we've got some really nice details such as the dial there of what you would twist in order to actually activate the toaster. We also do have the switch there at the top, and of course the little slots of where the toast would enter with the little grips there on either side. And also worth mentioning is that this figure has been completely painted in an amazing metallic silver. This really does look fantastic. So you can see from this side, in my opinion, it looks amazing. From that side, this side, it looks slightly odd from this side, as of course this is just grey plastic. But once again, I really do love the fact how we have this almost string-like hose, which would of course peg into the socket in order to power Ejector up. Once again, bringing in Bumblebee and Sam Witwicky for a size comparison. This is for sure a giant toaster and would probably better suit that for the Transformers. So if Bumblebee is feeling a little peckish whilst at the Battle of Mission City, he can for sure pop some toast in there in order to sort out his needs. But definitely a really awesome looking figure with this particular Ejector. Once again, I really do hope that you enjoyed this throwback review. I would really love to get more of these over on the channel. I know that I do say that every single time that I do make one of these reviews. It's just that I always do have reviews that are scheduled to go up before these, and so these reviews tend to get slightly pushed back. However, I will try my best to perhaps try and schedule one of these for at least once a week, just to give you viewers something different each week. So be sure to let me know down in the comment section below on what figure you would like me to take a look back at next. It's not strictly to the Revenge of the Fallen movie toy line, so I could take a look at figures from either the first movie or the Hunt for the Decepticons toy line, or of course Transformers Prime. I'm trying to save some of the Dark of the Moon figures for next year when it is the 10th anniversary, so I may not do any DOTM figures just yet, but anything from movie 1 to 2 and of course Hunt for the Decepticons, I will be for sure open to suggestions. I really do hope that you enjoyed this review. If you did, please do let me know down in the comment section below, and until my next review, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.